All right, welcome to an episode of the Car Girl Show. We're doing it a little bit different. We're not in studio, but through Zoom, we'll be able to do this interview with Christy Fines. I'd like to start off a little bit more fun with doing a lightning round. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Whatever comes to mind, that's what I want you to answer. Ready?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. If you could buy any car, which one would it be?
Grand Cherokee SRT.
Okay, manual or automatic?
Automatic.
What's your favorite food?
Taco Bell.
Okay. Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have. I have an abundance of pets. I have 2 dogs, 2 ponies, and 2 chickens right now.
Oh, ponies, nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring my kids over.
Yeah.
Describe yourself as a teenager in 3 words.
Fun. Very much a rule follower.
Oh.
And I didn't go out much. That's more than 3 words.
Opposite of me, but that's a whole other thing. Biggest pet peeve at work?
Probably when someone says it's not my job.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Wine or beer?
Beer.
Okay. Best book you ever read?
The Culture Code.
Okay. Sounds interesting. I'll have
Yeah.
to ask you about that. All right.
Yeah.
So if everyone's wondering, Christy Fines is the general manager at 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Which is awesome. So I want to ask you a few questions in regards to leadership, because I'm sure that's, takes a lot of leadership to lead 2 stores, never mind 1. So my first question to you is, how have you found it to be leading 2 stores during, this interesting time of COVID?
So it's definitely had its challenges. So I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky, smiling, not much gets me down, truthfully. So the way I've kind of looked at it throughout this whole time is we have to find the good in everything. So COVID hasn't been ideal for anybody. I think that's fair to say. But there has been some blessings and that have come out of it. Internet sales, something we thought we were maybe doing really well before, we weren't at all. We've totally transformed our processes. I would say the teams have come together. We always had pretty close teams, but the way I see them all reaching out to each other, connecting with each other, and checking on each other has been a blessing. And the way we all quickly learn different roles and different interesting time too. At the dealership, we all have a lot of stress at home too. So sometimes if we come in and we're down or something's happening, maybe it's not something work related, it's something else we're going through. So we've been very open about, doing whatever we can, connecting on WhatsApp. We've done a ton of Zoom calls, and just being there for each other.
Yeah, so that's my next question. I mean, naturally with a lot of change comes uncertainty, right? And with all the layoffs that have happened, and whether it was, yourself or a coworker, I mean, those things ultimately impact everyone. So how do you motivate your team? Because there are, we're all human beings and we all have the tendency at some points to get down or to get discouraged. So what are some of the things you've done to make sure your team keeps motivated?
So I'm very transparent with the teams. They can ask me any question they want any time of the day. My door is always open. Truthfully, I spend more time walking around the dealerships and talking to everybody than I do sometimes, answering emails and doing some of those other things. But I would say it's right, and being open and honest about not only what our stores are going through, but other stores. So we're blessed to be part of a group of dealerships. So we've implemented Zoom calls with all the sales professionals across the entire group, all the managers across the whole group. So we can kind of talk about some of the, the organizational things going on, the business things going on, and that we're connecting everybody in a way that no one store or one person feels alone, right? So some of the challenges I might be having, another GM in our group is having too. So we can connect and go, hey, how did you overcome this? What did you do? And, they're great takeaways because we don't all have the answers, but we can bounce things off each other and hopefully come up with the best solution. So motivating everybody, I think, I know the day that we were able to bring salespeople back in the showroom and it was our first Saturday back and we had a great day. Truthfully, I went home crying, just with gratitude for the teams and what they've gone through and how they pulled together. And the look on my face, I think, when they were all able to come back in the stores again and it was safe to do so, it was probably one of the best days I've ever had. It was just, we all refer to each other as either #dream team or work family. It was like we were all back again, and we've all kind of said, we can't go out and be with our family and friends at times now. So this is our social as well. So
right.
Our interactions at work are now becoming our social life. So it's even more important that we take care of each other and we talk to each other. And I think the communication has really increased around the stores too, interdepartmentally, with everybody helping each other because we have to.
Wow. Yeah. And it's very true. I mean, like even before COVID, you spend so much time at work, that really, truly they become your friends and your family as well. And more so now, like you've mentioned. So, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say and even birthdays during this time, my birthday fell mid-April, kind of at the height of COVID. And, they embarrass me when they can, I think, at times. So sure enough, the morning of my birthday and on my front lawn, they put up a billboard and balloons, and there had balloons coming in. They did it. We couldn't have anybody in the building, but I was there that Saturday doing a PPE drive. So they all drove by honking their horns. They were all in their own vehicle from a distance. So we've done that with each other. We've done porch drop-offs, where we drop off, maybe coffees for someone who can't come out, or we've tried to connect that way so that we're all taken care of.
Very nice. Very nice. So my last question for you is, throughout your career, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of advice. What is, one piece of advice that really hit home and that you can share with us?
So when I first moved to 400 Chrysler, I started in the role of GSM. And I had to make a tough decision, and I didn't know what to do. So I had reached out to one of my mentors, and he said to me, my head is telling me this, and I want to do that, and the data tells me this. And he stopped me mid-sentence and said, "What is your heart saying?" And it kind of caught me in my tracks because no one had taken the time to say, well, what's your heart telling you what to do? And truthfully, every time I'm going through a hard decision, I sit back and go, what does my heart tell me to do? Because our hearts typically won't lead us the wrong way. So I've tried to follow that advice, and it really hit home for me.
Nice. And I find it to be true as well. So thank you for that, Christy. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today and to share your experiences. And cheers to your success.
Awesome. Thank you. Nice to be here.